After 5 years, when the case seemed long closed, a different truth finally began to surface. Heather had lived quietly among her classrooms, maintaining the image of a devoted teacher and a grieving widow cloaked in silent sorrow. For 5 years, she continued to live in the same old house, receiving sympathetic glances from neighbors and heartfelt concern from colleagues. No one suspected her. No one imagined that behind her calm and gentle demeanor lay a chilling secret buried deep. Until April 2025, when the police stormed in and arrested her as the prime suspect in her husband's murder. Shock rippled through the community. Friends, neighbors, and colleagues were left reeling in disbelief.
Transport you. You just have animals in the house?
You guys really had to arrest me right in front of the kids that I work with.
Well,
come on, guys.
We waited until the school got out, ma'am.
No, but I still have kids in the cafeteria.
Okay, would you like to stand on the other side of this car?
Yeah.
Here, Chris, do you want to pull it out away from the bushes just a little bit? Here, if you come over here, he's pulling away from the bushes. That way you don't have to go.
I have no idea which dress. Just gonna push my glasses up a little bit. Thanks.
Is that good?
All of a sudden, you can't make up its mind.
Mother Nature on menopause.
I'm trying to figure out where I was taking you. There's a bunch of cops driving.
Where are we taking you?
Detective office.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have any knives?
No. This was in my... Oh, I have checked. Fine. Sorry, just a habit. Change.
Of course I do. I'll put your change in your bag too.
That's fine. And my phone is back here for long.
Where?
But I'm gonna need that because like I don't have everybody's number.
Yep.
Okay?
This bag's fine.
In November 2020, a woman named Heather Hoofer, a third-grade teacher in Farmington, New Mexico, called 911 to report that her husband, Robert Hoofer, was dead on the bedroom floor. Shortly after receiving the call, police arrived at the scene and began their investigation, collecting initial statements from those present at the location.
Where is he, ma'am? Get the door open, we have an officer coming.
Yeah.
Ma'am, did you see what happened?
No. 2497.
Where's the blood coming from on him? On his chest?
And I fell asleep on the couch and I came in here and he was on the floor. He was on...
Okay. Ma'am, can you watch out? I can check his pulse.
He's cold.
He's cold?
He's cold.
When did you last see him?
About 3. And I came in just now. And I guess he'd gotten his razor out. I don't know what he did. I don't know.
Yeah, have any medical conditions or what was he suffering from?
I don't know. I got out earlier. We were hanging out in his computer room and he wanted to hide. I made him hide. And then I brought him to bed and he's like, it hurts.
His chest?
And I took his shirt off. and I don't know where I took it off, and I tried to clean it.
It's okay. Do you want to have a seat for me?
And then
Do you know what he cut himself with?
he said one of the steak knives, but it couldn't have.
Okay, let's not go reaching around. I just don't want you to get cut, ma'am, in case it's sitting around here.
Say again.
I don't want you reaching around just in case you get cut, okay?
Was he suicidal?
Not that I know of.
Was he laying here in bed and you moved him over off the ground?
And when I got up,
Back here, Sarge. Oh, am I?
no.
We're not sure. She said he cut himself earlier in the night. Had been in bed in here, and then she came over, pulled him off the bed, took his shirt off. No, the lacerations I'm seeing are deep enough and have a lot of blood protruding, but
That's the thing.
I don't know.
As I told, it's not deep. They were deep. They're not deep enough to kill.
What medication does he take, ma'am? Or this is medication up here?
Was he said that he was cutting because it hurt, or he said it hurt because he cut it?
4106, do you have contact with the Asia Park officer?
I can't. I don't know if he took all his pills. I don't know. I don't know.
It's okay. Take your time.
I don't know.
Okay.
That's fine, I'm calling him back.
I can't admit he was on the floor.
Is there a way to get her in the living room?
Yeah, we can try that.
Yeah.
How old is he?
49.
49.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. No,
It's okay.
don't.
Ma'am, we're going to assist you out to the living room, okay?
What happened?
Take some deep breaths. Is there anything we can get you, ma'am?
I don't want him to be like that, and I know he's.
We're going to take care of him, ma'am. We're going to respect him and we're going to take care of him for you.
106, I believe they're pulling up right now. 106,
Oh, who am I for that? Okay.
I don't know, you guys. I don't know. I don't know what he did. I don't know.
It's okay.
We're going to have somebody come and look at him, but we're going to try and move him to a more accessible place right here, right outside the door.
But you should have tried moving him when you're 4'11".
What's that?
You should have tried flipping him over when when I'm 4'11".
Oh,
He
yeah.
was laying on his. He was on my computer, face down,
Okay.
and I rolled him over, and then and he's cold.
Is there any way that I can just do this stuff out and we're going to end up coming out that way? Or do you want to wait until we move him? It's up to you. You can stay with him. It's just... I see he's wearing these compression socks. Does he have some medical conditions? Blood clots in his legs? Okay. Did he complain at all about any like feeling of pain or anywhere in his body?
I don't know what he did, you guys. I don't know what he did. I don't know what he did. I don't know what he did.
Like I said, we're going to have somebody come and check him out. That way, you know, they can front and back look at him more thoroughly, okay?
I don't know.
At this point, there's no way of us
did. I don't
knowing.
Ma'am, I'll give you a minute to say goodbye to him, but we'll have to move you out, okay, so we can conduct our investigation.
I just had a grandbaby born on Monday.
You want to wait, or you what?
He had puke on him when I rolled him over. There was puke.
Come on, wait,
10-4, 554.
None of these are deep enough to have done this. right.
We don't know,
Yeah,
ma'am. We don't get to tell that. We have to have a specialist come out who can better answer some questions for you that you probably have. I know you're going through a lot. I'm so sorry for your loss, ma'am. But a lot of this we don't know. It's going to take a specialist to come out and take a look at it and to probably get you some more answers that you're looking for.
I don't even know how I'm going to explain this to his mom.
What was your name?
Heather Hoofer. I changed it all the way.
And what's his name, Heather?
Rob Hoofer.
How do you spell your last name, Heather?
Well, I'm in between names, so Fernandez was for 1,000.
Okay.
That's
How do you spell Hofer?
Hoefer.
Okay.
Are you guys married? Okay. So you would be the next of kin? And he's going to be right outside the door, so you can still be with him, okay?
And we're just going to try and get him moved to a more accessible location so we can get an investigation going.
We got somebody coming. No, it's our normal procedure, okay? It's the medical examiners, they come, and it's not that they can determine right away, but they really just look at the wounds and everything on his body to determine where they go from there. Whether there's an autopsy that needs to be done, or whether he has medical conditions that could be related to his death. And they will go over all of that. I know the next steps are not easy to just think of. It's a lot and very overwhelming at this point, but they will have a conversation with you about what's next, okay?
I don't know what to do. Did I do something wrong?
No, ma'am. Of course not, ma'am.
Okay. It's just another officer. That's our supervisor.
Hi, ma'am. I'm Sergeant Wilson. I'm our duty supervisor.
Did you ever work at the school?
I did.
I know you. So this.
Ma'am, what we have to do now is just have you step out in the kitchen. We can get some more information from you, and then we'll go from there, okay?
Thanks, Heather.
And we can move him out of the way. That way you don't have to walk over him.
Are any of these blankets okay for us to use? Just to kind of get us, slide them into the living room?
Yeah.
Okay. Just making sure.
Oh,
Slide him over closer to the bed. And
That's okay, Heather. We got it from here, okay? We'll step right out with you.
Do we need to bring him out or just leave him here for all my?
I think right here's fine, right?
I think it is too.
We got another door they can
Yeah.
come in. We can set in.
Actually, that one is pretty decent.
Like a puncture, huh?
Yeah, 2 punctures. That's a puncture. That's a puncture. That's a puncture.
Yeah, you might have to call the technical surgeon.
Yeah.
I know he's big. He's gonna need your help.
He's coming in.
Okay.
We might have to call detectives.
yeah, I will.
Deep puncture, deep puncture, deep puncture. I didn't see it. They look superficial because there's no blood coming out. But after we moved them, we saw that.
We're just gonna secure the scene and call detectives, and then they're gonna get some information from you, okay, Heather?
What's that? Yeah.
Nobody's saying anything, okay?
Yeah. And that one. Yeah.
You guys can just close the door. Okay. Hey, look, people, that's what we're gonna find out, okay?
Changes things.
You guys can get some information from her,
Okay.
and then both of you guys can step out of there.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, see?
That's what we're gonna investigate, okay?
We're gonna have somebody come in.
Yeah. So let's sit back down and we'll start back on the story that you're telling. You're saying...
They were that deep, you guys. I didn't. I would have taken him in.
Come on, kitty. Out. Go on, kitty. No, kitty. Heather, do you know where the knife is that he had or had
He said it was
used?
one of the steak knives, but I didn't see it. That's the thing, is I didn't see it. These are the knives. These are the steak knives.
Okay, we'll check them. We'll take a look at them.
I didn't see any of them gone.
Is the knife back here?
She said this is her mistake. She didn't see it.
It could be anywhere. And that's what I feel like it's in the room. There's no blood anywhere but the room. I feel like I'm gonna get briefed for, or we're gonna get briefed for moving the body.
I didn't see it.
I didn't
like
either.
that. It looked like just a scratch.
Until we went down and grabbed him and started to scoot him, I was like, oh, those are deeper than I thought, so I don't know. Do you know, does he keep his knives in any drawers or anything like that, ma'am?
No.
And do you know if it was in here where he ended up possibly hurting himself, or what had happened exactly, Heather?
Yeah. Well, we were going to bed, and he was like, "It hurts. It hurts." And I put him in bed, and
And is there any cut marks on him at that time?
I didn't notice any at that time. And then I went a little later, and he was like, "It hurts." And there was blood on his. I was like, of course, I said dirty words. What the did you do?
Did this happen whenever you were moving him on your shirt? You have some of this. Some blood.
I'm sure it happened when I moved him. Or when I took it off of him and I cleaned it up.
He was wearing a shirt.
And again, now I can't find it. He was wearing a shirt and a jacket.
So with all that said, and I'm just going to kind of warn you ahead of time, they're going to probably collect your shirt, take pictures of you and your hands. Just because
I didn't do anything.
It's okay.
Listen,
It's just procedure.
I
didn't do anything.
And I just wanted to warn you ahead of time. They're going to get you. I don't want you to be surprised by anything that happens. Okay, their investigation is going to be very thorough, and they're going to ask you questions and just kind of try and get a timeline to get there. We do need to find the shirt. We do need to find the jacket.
I was looking for that.
If we can touch as minimal things as possible. But still all kinds
Is this her husband or not?
Yeah.
Take a deep breath, okay?
What's sketching me out is she said that she took his shirt and jacket off and now she can't find it anywhere. I'm like, oh boy.
Let her go back in her room.
Yeah.
After collecting initial statements and examining the scene, police began to suspect that the death of Robert Hoofer might not be as straightforward as it seemed. There were no signs of forced entry or robbery. What caught the investigators' attention was that the house was unusually clean, as if it had been meticulously cleaned. Some bloodstains appeared to have been wiped away, but beneath the flooring, police discovered blood that had been carefully concealed. Additionally, a kitchen knife was found to be missing without any clear explanation. However, what raised the most suspicion was the demeanor of Heather Hoofer, the woman who reported her husband's death. Instead of displaying typical signs of shock or distress, Heather appeared strangely calm. During her interview with investigators, she even laughed and spoke casually, an attitude that seemed disturbingly out of place given the circumstances.
And you came to check on him, Heather? Could you hear him in there, or were you in there with him saying it hurts, it hurts?
I was in there.
Had he been asleep prior to saying anything, or was he kind of awake still?
He was awake. And I cleaned it up. I didn't think it was that, I really didn't think it was that bad. You know, because the steak knife, you really can't, I didn't, they're not even like,
Sure.
and I didn't notice any of them missing or any of that, so I was like, And I woke up at 3. And, checked on him. And then I woke up a minute ago and he was on the floor. Because I was asleep on the couch.
So you had been in bed with him when he was saying it hurts, it hurts?
No. I mean, I was kind of, but I wasn't going to bed yet. It wasn't,
Right, were you laying down in bed with him though?
No.
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 And at 3 o'clock, what was it like at that time?
Like that? I mean, not cold.
But he was in bed?
He was in bed and he was coherent and he was, you know.
Did he say anything to you?
Mm-mm.
So then you went back to sleep?
Mm-hmm.
On the sofa again?
On the sofa, yeah, because he peed. Shit. Sorry.
He peed in the bed?
Yes!
Is that normal for him?
No!
No?
I was mad. Sorry, bad words.
No.
Truth comes out. I ain't laying in a piss bed.
So then, right before you called us, you went and checked on him again. And then
He was on the floor.
He was on the floor. Okay.
He was face down. He was on the laptop, the school laptop, face down. And when he goes to sleep, he's cold anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but when I rolled him over, there was puke and.
And he was lying on the floor or lying on the bed?
On the floor.
Does he have a history of suicidal tendencies? Has he ever hurt himself before?
Not with me, no.
And is he your husband?
We got married in September.
In September?
How long have you guys been together?
Almost a year. We had a little tiny little grandbaby born on Monday.
So,
In the back. There's 2 adult children, a toddler, and a newborn.
Heather?
Good job you not being at school no more.
so which school were you at, McCormick? What was your duties there?
I'm a teacher.
And he works at the school too? Oh.
His first name is Robert. Do you happen?
What grade do you teach? Third grade? The little ones.
Better than first. I taught first for a while.
Oh, that first is tough.
They're great.
So Heather, we're just, our procedure is just to investigate every death, okay?
Like a crime. I know.
Yeah, exactly. So we're just...
I didn't do anything, you know.
I know, we're not accusing you of that, okay? But it's just as important to eliminate you as a suspect as anything else, okay? And you're saying he had some medical conditions, you said blood clots.
Blood clots. Some colitis, ulcerative colitis. He takes a shit ton of meds.
Okay.
Had he been drinking at all today? Does he drink? Yeah. Does he drink often when he takes medication?
No. Well, he takes his meds all the time. But,
How much alcohol do you think you had last night?
we had a little bit of.
Beer, hard liquor, wine, beer, hard liquor. What kind and how much can you guess?
Gin.
Gin?
I don't even know how much he drank.
Okay. Are all of his medications in the room? Or does he have any out here? Because they're going to want to look at those too.
Me and the event fucked up. He was lying right here. Door was cracked about this much for us to walk in over him. And then the wounds look super superficial. like there were scratches.
Okay.
And so when we went to go roll him over, put the blanket on him to move him, just get him so we could open the door.
Okay.
Is when I looked down, I was like, oh, those are a lot deeper than just scratches, and that's when I dropped the body.
Okay.
So he was initially up here, lying how he is just now.
Okay.
But like I said, where he was lying, we could open the door about this much to squeeze in.
Did you put the blanket under him?
Yeah, because we just moved it because he was so heavy just to slide him down.
Okay.
So
Did you move the sweatshirt at all?
no.
Noting numerous irregularities in the illogical nature of Heather's account, investigators decided to preserve the crime scene intact while awaiting the arrival of forensic specialists and homicide detectives for an in-depth examination. Meanwhile, to avoid disturbing evidence and to ensure an objective investigation, family members were instructed to leave the house and accompany an officer to the police station. There, they would meet directly with a detective to provide additional detailed statements, crucial for cross-checking information and uncovering any hidden inconsistencies.
Well, you know, eventually.
All right, Heather. So I got a couple of questions for you, and then a couple of statements. Okay. So first of all, the question is, would you be willing to come down to the police department to talk to one of our detectives to answer some questions there? We want to. So we're going to
fill in some holes.
Yeah.
Basically,
and the other thing we're going to do is we've made a decision. We've talked to the district attorney's office, things like that. And we're going to actually just apply for a search warrant just so that our bases are covered, okay? We need to just cover our bases legally and stuff like that. So what we need to do is we're going to remove everybody from the home, secure it, apply for a search warrant so we can come back in and do the search that we need to, okay? And then we want to talk to you, ask some questions, you get a detailed statement, and then go back and then ask some more questions and stuff like that, just so that we can fill in some holes and some gaps and stuff like that and go from there, okay? Do you have any questions for me? You understand what I'm asking? You might have an officer drive you up to the police department and talk to a detective there.
I didn't do anything though, you guys.
I understand that.
and we're not saying that you aren't.
We're not saying
we
we are,
have.
but we
We
have-
have a lot more questions. Based on what we're seeing here, we need to do a more thorough search of what.
So, and that's also to protect you too, okay? If we do a haphazard job, if we don't do a thorough job, then trust me, hindsight's always 20/20, okay? So we have to check a bunch of boxes as we go through this to make sure that nobody can come back later and say, well, did you ask for this? Did you find out this? Did you do this? Did you do this? Because based on you've already said these circumstances aren't normal, right?
Right.
Okay. So everybody has to be above reproach, so we have to do things in a specific way to make sure that we are legally covered. Okay? Does that make sense? And that protects you too, okay? You did nothing wrong, you got nothing to be scared of. But we have to do this in a methodical way, okay?
We'd like to be able to interview everybody as well that was here last night. So it's not just you, it's everyone. And so that's what we'd like to facilitate now. We'd like to be able to apply for a search warrant. And while we're doing that, we can talk to you guys up at the police department if you're willing to do that. Are you guys willing to do that for us? Yes? Okay. Hearing it now, yeah.
Is there any doors in the back?
I think so. If I remember right.
Thanks, Marty.
I don't know where they are.
Yeah,
I don't know the outside. Don't worry about that.
Just want to make.
At last, after 5 long years of quiet and persistent investigation, justice has finally spoken. Modern forensic evidence, conflicting witness testimonies, and a series of suspicious financial transactions gradually unearthed the truth that had been buried for years. Heather was arrested on charges of premeditated murder as her financial motives became increasingly apparent and left no room for denial. The upcoming trial will be the stage where every lie must face the truth, and without a doubt, a fitting sentence awaits Heather.